Welcome back on the program. We still have two sound lawyers on the show this morning, Olutubosun, Osifowora, and Barrister Femi, Aina. Many thanks for staying the course on the program this morning, gentlemen. Let's quickly look at this section 158 of the ACJA. The court dismissed Nnamdi Kanu's bail application. So why did they dismiss his application when he filed for bail?
Are you aware that he had been granted bail before?
Yes.
In the course of this same trial. And he jumped bail. He was, two senators stood for him. I remember back in the day, if you check, it was there. He jumped bail, and then they had to start looking for him. Then the eventual extradition order came, and then he was brought back into the country. So somebody who is one of the conditions for which you don't give bail is somebody is a flight risk. Now, so he literally put his sureties and those who stood for him, his guarantors, in a precarious situation, that it took the effort of the entire nation to get him back and extradited into the country. You know, so at the end of the day, you find that that same person coming to ask for bail is just going to repeat the same thing. The character, what he had displayed earlier didn't favor the bail, and then under what grounds is he asking for bail?
So,
all right.
Let
me amplify the point.
Okay.
Number one, bail is at the discretion of the judge. Okay, that's the starting point. The second point, if you are charged with terrorism, bail will be granted only in exceptional circumstances.
So what are these circumstances?
Now, that's you are supposed to answer that question. Is there any number one? Is there any serious health condition in this case? The second point is that having granted you bail in the past and you escaped to Kenya, is it possible to give you another second bite of the cherry? 3, have you even put enough evidence to convince the court that if granted bail, you are going to engage with the court proceeding, taking account of all his attitude in the past and the unruly conduct? You understand? So definitely, such application for bail will not fly. And the judge is right to dismiss.
Okay, let us, since we're talking about evidence and all that, I know that when somebody says, I don't need legal representation, the judge on the case will give you a lecture on the demerits of not having legal representation. Was that done? That's my first question. And now the second question is, he did not give counter evidence, you know, and so on. Is it constitutional? Is it a constitutional provision for the court now to see the evidence given by the prosecution as the only basis for the case?
Well, I think my good brother has already addressed that, that if you don't challenge the evidence, then it goes in.
It's constitutional.
And for the judge, yeah, that's right. And the judge did well anyway, because he gave him ample opportunity to seek legal representation. And at a point, the judge was saying, talk to lawyers who know about these things. So I'm going to adjourn the case. When you come next, try this, try that. And despite all said and done, he still has these 4 lawyers sitting behind him. The judge even, I think yesterday, the judge even called them that they should let him know his sentence. Okay, which means he recognized there are people behind giving him that backseat support. Okay, but the issue is this. Okay, when an accused person go in the witness box and take a plea, and they ask you, are you guilty or not guilty? And the accused person turned around and said, not guilty. What he's saying, technically, he's not saying he's innocent. What he's saying is that I might have done it, but you have to prove it. Because the burden of proof is on the prosecution. And it's a high standard of proof, okay? And if you look at this, number one, there are video evidence the judge rely on. Kanu had an opportunity to challenge those evidence and said, look, these videos have been doctored. And the only way you do that, you call experts. That's one. You can call people who are very good in voice recognition, who can come and say, no, that's not his voice. He can do a psychological evaluation that is just a man boasting all about. He's not somebody who wants to take harm or encouraging insurrection. So he has a choice whether to eat his sheep with honey or vinegar. But he decided that no, I don't even want any of that.
Okay.
Now, that's why I said he brought this upon himself.
And
if you are innocent, look, I'm here now. If I get home and receive a letter to report at Alago, I won't go to the airport and run to Kenya. I will just go there straight that I have an alibi. Because when the incident happened, I was at TVC. You can call this, you can call my brother. So you understand me? To prove, that will be your first opportunity to prove your innocence. And I must say to you, look, even if he enter his defense and he enter the witness box, he's going to get mesmerized. And I'll tell you why. The first question the prosecution will ask him is that you are pleading not guilty. He's going to say yes, because you didn't do it. Yes. So why did you run to Kenya?
He went.
At a point, Kanu earlier said he's going to call witnesses. He even made mention of names. Yes, some Wike,
that's how you
governor of Lagos State.
If I have a case, my brother, will I call Wike? Knowing the fact that Wike himself is a very controversial and polarized figure who can divide opinion. Number one, the judge even approved his witness list. He turned around and said, look, some of these witnesses, they are abroad. He even called Governor Sanwo-Olu. You understand me? Now, that's fine. That can delay the trial because those witnesses abroad can just give a video evidence. That's fine. And call them. Then the next thing, after that was approved, he now said he withdrew the list.
Let us look at the psychological state based on the character he had displayed right from the beginning till now. Can a lawyer on appeal use his mental state as an excuse?
Yes and no.
Please educate me.
All right. Now, so one of the things you can actually put forward is his mental state, and I think he alluded to the fact. I mean, Pastor Aina alluded to the fact that if you bring him on the stand and you say, okay, this person is not mentally sound, he's not capable of doing all the things he said, you have to put up psychiatric evaluation. If he fails a test, then you know, okay, you have a case. He had ample opportunity to do that. That was not done. For me, we had a debate on several platforms, and some people were like, this guy is not balanced with the way with the aggression and everything.
Yes.
And somebody said, see, this guy has seen the reality of what was coming. And he had to just put up some theatrics. And that's basically what I saw there. He's not somebody, he's sound. He's mentally sound. He knows what he's doing. It is only a psychological evaluation or psychiatric evaluation that can speak otherwise. We can only speak based on the fact that, okay, I assume that this man is fine. Now, so if they are going to put that up on appeal, then it's left for the Court of Appeal to look into that, evaluate it, and see how it works vis-a-vis his appeal.
Can we establish the fact that he has the right to appeal this judgment?
Absolutely.
Barrister Femi, I don't want to talk about it. Thank you. Now, first of all, let me even shed more light on that. There is something you call the Ladder-Marshall principle, that whereby you are bringing new evidence in. You need to, first of all, convince the court that, look, you didn't have the opportunity to bring that evidence in. That's why I agree with my brother when he said he had the ample opportunity. If he wants to bring this psychological report or valuation or whatever, now he will need to convince the court why he did not use that evidence at the lower court. So that's one. As for his appeal, there are two ways to it. He can either appeal the conviction or he can appeal the sentence. Okay, but now, to appeal the conviction, he will need to, the point he has been making, he didn't get a fair trial. I don't know whether that will fly. Number two, he can say the judge's evaluation of the evidence was very wrong. You can just say the judge shouldn't have admitted this and that evidence. So there are grounds there for the conviction. For the sentence, I don't know what Kanu is going to say to the Court of Appeal. The alternative to the life imprisonment is death penalty. So is he appealing that the judge should have given him death penalty? So do you get it just now? Except because they will, look, it's even lucky. I must be sincere to you. Because they try him under this Prevention of Terrorism Act. Okay, under the old law, if you are convicted of treason, it's a mandatory death penalty. There is no alternative to it. Okay, so it's even lucky. And if he appealed the sentence, is he going to ask the Court of Appeal that, oh, the judge shouldn't have given me life imprisonment? That is one ground. Or he can tell the Court of Appeal that, okay, they should give him death sentence, which is not in his interest. So there are lots there. But the point is this. Let's leave all that aside and face the reality of the situation. If you go out there, ask 10 people whether they are happy with Nigeria, what is going on. 6 out of that 10 will tell you no. The remaining 4, let's assume 3 of them are APC members. They will say, oh, it's not right, but the president is doing this, and they will just go on that narrative. Okay? The one will probably just walk away. But if we concentrate on those 6 and they are not happy, they have a lawful means of bringing a change. Okay? That lawful means, number 1, they can lobby the member of parliament to get the president impeached. That's one, which is constitutionally right. They can go to INEC, get their PVC, and say in 2027, we are going to get these people out of power. What they will not do is to say, you must sit at home. What they will not do is to say, armed insurrection is the alternative. What they will not do is to say, Nigeria is a zoo, and all of us, we are animals in that zoo. You understand me? So there are other lawful means which you can use. And the legacy of the Biafra war is still causing a lot of distrust till today. It is not impossible for you to see people saying, Omo Igbo. You understand me? It is not impossible for you, but now we are trying to build bridges. If you look into parliament, you see Igbo, you see Hausa, you see Yoruba person, and you see other ethnic groups making law for the benefit of all of us. But if you turn around and say women cannot take their children to hospital, if children should not go to school because you are not happy with Nigeria, then you go for life in prison.
So how does this judgment reconcile the agitation for Biafra?
Well, we cannot take away the fact that there's a whole lot of sentiment, particularly ethnic sentiments. And I have taken pain to look at social media, and I did a cross-section analysis. And I tell you for free, being truthful, people from that section are not particularly happy at this conviction. Now, but if it's going to agitate a new call for Biafra, I don't know. If they're going to be realistic and say that, okay, fine, we don't want another character to come up and incite the people. Mind you, it's not everybody from that section of the ethnic group that's also particularly excited about what Kanu is doing. People have lost businesses. People have lost. I have a friend whose major client died from this ESN thing. He was murdered in broad daylight as a result of this thing. This sit at home, I think he walked in on a Monday. We have Dora Akunyili's husband. It's there. We have a lot of people, a lot of casualties from this. You don't want to tell me that the families of these persons will not be happy at this conviction, because everything stemmed from this character called Nnamdi Kanu. Now, so if I lost the breadwinner of my house, you think I'm going to embrace him? Never. So it's not everybody who is on the side. Some people have that ethnic sentiment on their side. I mean, they're given to such sentiment and they believe it's fighting for them. But a lot of people have seen the light. In the next couple of days, we will actually see the result of this conviction. Because by the time people start going about their work on Mondays and everything, then you know that this thing actually has given some form of liberation. And the court was careful to state that you cannot be going for self-determination that will be detrimental to the life of the people. Because what underscores terrorism is that when your act is inimical to the life of the people, endangers the life and economy of the people, so much so an entire section of the country, then you will be charged for terrorism. That's basically what it is.
All right, we have very little time, but it's as if we are going to, even if we sign off, we are going to hold you, you guys down. Because, look, we need to educate the viewers on this thing, and that informs my next question. In a case like this, let's say a year or two from now, can Mr. President offer him prerogative of mercy?
Well, that's another thing. You see, this guy is a very ridiculous human being. Number one. No. Let's I take your point, but you take my point. Let's face the reality of the situation. Yes. There is a guy called Asari Dokubo also. He was charged in similar circumstances, okay? And he was brought before Justice Kolawole of the Federal High Court. At the end of the day, I think the Attorney General internally prosecuted and discontinued the proceeding. The Ijaw leaders met with the president. I think whether it's Jonathan or Buhari, I can't work that out now. Now they met with the president, they made representation, they got in touch with the Attorney General, and they discontinued the proceeding. The Indigbos, who are now saying this conviction, this and that, and what, they've had the opportunity all along to make representation. First of all, you meet Kanu and tell him, look, be measured with your rhetoric, because we are talking to the president on your behalf. They didn't do that. Now he has been convicted. The president cannot second guess that conviction and say, you've been sentenced, so the next thing, tomorrow, I'm going to release you. No, the president will have to wait. If he's appealing, he should let the appeal take its course. That's one. If the prerogative of mercy, which is at the discretion of the president, is going to happen, Kanu will need to apply to that committee who will now make recommendation to the president, and the president will take a decision. He can't do it unilaterally.
Okay, the president cannot do it.
He can't just wait on what? Is it the judge? The judge has sentenced him already.
How do you send a strong message to those people out there who are still going out carrying arms and ammunition, killing people in Nigeria? We're still talking about alleged Christian genocide in the country with this judgment.
No, so the easiest way to send a message is upholding this conviction. The court has done its part. You know, the judiciary is always the blame child. Everybody will come and say the judiciary is this, is that. The court has done its part. It has convicted him, made the criminal out of him based on the evidence before the court. Now, like Mr. Aina said here, that it's a way of sending message to the outside world that a criminal can only enjoy the freedom and the euphoria for a period of time. You will be convicted, you will be sentenced by the court, and God help you, you meet a judge like Justice Omotosho, who will give you maybe the lower part of the, you know, every sentence has a lower part and then the highest point. The highest point was death sentence, but he gave him life imprisonment. Now, which was good for him. Yeah. Now, so, but one of the ways, in fact, the most important way to send the message is, one, uphold this conviction. And well, as it goes forward, I can tell you, I mean, it's almost predictable what will happen at the higher courts because of what's on ground and then what his team is actually pushing forward. If they push forward fair hearing, you can rest assured that it's going to fall flat. But that is left to the court to determine. But the best way to do this is to, one, uphold this conviction. And then the court has also stated something, that the court acknowledged the fact that he's a violent person. And if you look at the sentencing, he was asked that he should be put in a section in the correctional facility where he will probably be isolated. So he won't even endanger other people, and then he shouldn't have access to, you know, some things. Now, so that's the way to go about this thing. And then this is first in line. you can rest assured that other people will either stop all these phony agitations, because this is how to correct and this is how to sanitize the society. Because once they see that, okay, the big fish has been caught and fried, every other person will retract and retrace their steps.
This big fish issue, it's quite interesting, because people from his section of the country are saying there are other big fishes somewhere. How come we've not had anything concerning them? How would you react to that kind of argument, sir?
Well, number one, before I even go there, if I'm the judge, I will show Kanu what is called zero compassion. Because, you see, what we don't do in this country, number one, when you are sentencing, you need to look at the aggravating features of the offense committed by the criminal. Then, in other jurisdictions, we have what they call victim impact statement, where the victim will come before the court and address the judge and say, look, this thing has destroyed our life completely. This is my only child. Imagine your wife is pregnant, you're at home, suddenly went into labor. Because of high pump sit at home, you can't even take her to an hospital. And you are an organizer, you don't have any medical knowledge at all. Now, in such circumstances, if you bring people like that before the court, we need to send a powerful message. For the other ones you are talking about, you can't have a two-tier system, okay? We can't have one rule for the goose, another for the gander. Number one, we need to start somewhere. It will get to them. That's why I said judicial integrity is very important. If the court convict and the president suddenly said, oh, political solution, go out, you are sending a message to the criminal that, look, we will go out. Look at what happened to the prerogative of mercy recently, whereby some people managed to sneak some people's name into it. You see, when criminals, you see some of these criminals, I must tell you, they monitor things more than you.
Oh,
they watch things the way it is going. Don't worry, Jared, don't worry. The president will pardon me. Do you understand me? So, and if you start doing that, then you are dealing. What we need to do is this. One, we need to deal with crime, and we need to deal with the causes of crime. And three, we need to tell people that if you commit the crime, you must be ready to serve the sentence.
Yes, as punishment for bad behavior, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, we see all this, that there are punitive measures to some of this crime that people perpetrate in this country. It will reduce the issue of terrorism, banditry in Nigeria. But the way forward, let me get your final reaction on this matter. He has been sentenced to life imprisonment. What is that message to those who want to bring up another agitation in the country, whether from the north, from the south, or any part of Nigeria?
West.
I can tell you, it's still early days, but the message is clear. A lot of people never thought somebody like Kanu could be convicted and sent to prison. They just felt maybe along the way something will happen and everything. But since they've seen it, it's a strong message. And like Mr. Aina said, it will get to the rest. Because the argument has been that, and there are other people everywhere. It will get to them. It's a matter of time. The wheel of law the wheel of justice may grind slowly, but it will get to everybody. Like they say on the street, everybody will collect.
Absolutely. Everybody will definitely collect. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast.